but you're not allowed to do it on the ground floor because of saving face. It looks bad.
But for all those Americans watching who claim that I'm driving on the wrong side of the road, it's not the wrong side of the road, it's the other side of the road. It's the left side of the road. I'm not bringing this with me, by the way, because that would make it too easy.
Hi guys, welcome back. This is Alpha Omega Occasionally. You know, you've got to put up with a lot living in Thailand. You've got to make a lot of adjustments and you've got to give way on a lot of things. I'm talking about what frustrates me, not what is wrong, because it's not wrong, it just frustrates me, and it might just frustrate you. One of the things that frustrate me is double parking, and you can see it here. That's an arrow pointing that way. And further on down, you'll notice another arrow going the same way. This is a two-way, well, it's not a road. It's a road within a private complex. So we drive on the left. I'm on the left on this side, and I'm on the left on this side. So I'm driving this way on the left, I'm driving this way on the left, but the arrows are pointing this way. What does that mean? These cars are parked in the laneway. Double parking. Well, that's not double parking, that's just stupidity. But double parking is rife. I can't demonstrate it now. Well, I'll try to demonstrate it. Hang on. And the reason I say I can't demonstrate it right now is because everyone's gone to work. There's one car down there which is double parked. But this morning, there's a whole line here double parked right on the laneway. And it makes it so damn frustrating when you're looking for parking. It makes it so damn frustrating when you're trying to get out in the morning. And that's one thing that frustrates me. There's a lot of other things, as you know, that frustrate me. And one of the things I use to manage my frustration is Leo or Beer Lao or Gordon's Dry Gin or anything else that comes to hand at the time of my... Ouch. What the hell is that? I hate cats. It's like someone imitating a cat. Anyway, whatever comes to hand at the time of frustration. Another thing that frustrates me. You see here where someone has their washing hanging over the balcony. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But you see, we're not allowed to do that by the management. And the security are the ones who will pull you up on it because we live on the ground floor. If you live on an upper floor, you're allowed to do it, but you're not allowed to do it on the ground floor because of saving face. It looks bad. It brings down the tone of the place. But oh no, if you live on the upper floor, you can do it, which means it's double standards. And that is one of the things that frustrates me about living here. The amount of double standards based on saving bloody face. Just before we move on to our next frustration, just to highlight our first frustration. This is what happens. They're parked on the laneway. So if I'm driving out in the morning, I have to drive in the wrong side. And you see, it's a tight corner, look. So if there's a car coming around this way, I'm blocking him. We have to reverse and do this and do that and all that kind of rigmarole because of this. Is that not bloody frustrating? This is my jalopy. And there's nothing that frustrates me about this because it's a Toyota. 13 years old and it's still as good as new, more or less. But we're going to take a journey now to deliver you and me into another frustration. And this is one of my pet hates about this place. Anyway, let's get into the jalopy and set off while I can still compose myself and maintain some degree of composure. You're right, I'm not wearing my seatbelt just yet because we're still in private property even. But another thing that frustrates me is when I get into my wife's car, her seatbelt is connected to the receiver because she sits on her seatbelt and she connects it to the receiver so the alarm doesn't go off. That really frustrates me because that's what Thais do. A lot of them do that. They connect their seatbelt to the receiver and sit on it.
Before I go anywhere, I better put on my seatbelt, because I'll never hear the end of it if I don't. After criticising them. Hang on. There we are. So, the crucial thing here is knowing what to expect and know what you're getting. You see this cap? This is not an Adidas cap. I only paid $10 for it, as far as I remember. I had to buy liners. You see these things? These are liners, cap liners. You see them there? They're about, I forget how much they were. They were pennies on Lazada.com, and you put them into your baseball cap and it keeps them rigid. They're great. They're great. The great accessory to your baseball cap wardrobe, as it were. But anyway, we're off on a journey now, and I'm frustrated again because I have to drive to my son's school. Look, I'll shut up and I'll drive because I'll be here all bloody day. I've got other things to be doing. Hang on, let's get the flock out of here. It's starting to rain. I thought the rainy season was over. A few spots of rain there. This is the 28th of October, lads. So it's not finished with us yet. The monsoon, that is. Anyway, here we go. Off to my son's school, and I'll tell you what the frustration is. Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing here, doing in my son's school. I have to buy him a tie, and I say it again, a tie, not a necktie. It's a tie. You see, I don't speak American English. I don't speak British English. I speak Hiberno English, and Hiberno English is the English we speak in Ireland. It's heavily influenced by the Gaelic language. If you want to know what Gaelic is, it's nothing like English. Dahi is alam dom Tommy Nagoni E.T. Lin. Tome Anna Sasta. Marata Tome Nagoni E.T. Lin. Anyway, I don't speak American English, so I don't say necktie. But guess what? The ties say necktie. Bloody hell. The ties say French fries. The ties say the first floor when they mean the ground floor because they copy the Americans, you see. Not that there's nothing wrong, but guess what? We've got the upper hand. We drive on the left. And for everyone in America, and you're all very welcome, lads, I appreciate all of you, you know that, and you can take this with a grain of salt. But for all those Americans watching who claim that I'm driving on the wrong side of the road, it's not the wrong side of the road, it's the other side of the road. It's the left side of the road. And that's one thing I'm not frustrated with living in Thailand. So we just arrived. This, and I'm careful not to show the logo because this is Thailand and you got to be careful how you say things and what you say. I'm not saying anything derogatory, and this is my frustration. This is his tie, not a necktie. It is not a necktie, it's a tie. These ain't eyeglasses, they're glasses. And by the way, this is not a cell phone, it's a mobile phone. So look, I am not trying to poke fun at anybody. Look, it's just take it with a pinch of salt, as I said. So I'm going to go in here and get this, and I'm going to let you in on a little bit of my life. I'm going to put this in my pocket and I'm going to record, not video because you're not supposed to do that, but I'm going to record how frustrating, I'm going to take it off the thing here, how frustrating it is for me to go in and say, do you speak English? Come put prasa ankrit daimai. They'll say nip noi, and this is a bilingual school, by the way, and they don't really, I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, I go in and they'll say nip noi, and I'll say pam au su, probably pronouncing that wrong. That means I want to buy pam au su Thai. And they'll look at me as if I've got two heads because they don't know what that means. All they know is the imported English word, American English word, necktie. But I'm not going to back down. I I don't speak American English. I speak Hiberno English, and it's not a necktie, it's a tie. So let's go in and see what unfolds. I'm not bringing this with me, by the way, because that would make it too easy. Yeah, so before I go in, there'll be no video. I'll just pose for the shot that you will see while I'm in there. Hang on a second. And this is what you'll see while the audio is playing. I didn't know which one would be good enough. I'll find out when I get home and do the editing. Anyway, here we go.
Anyway, here's the shop. Here we go. Hello, how you doing? Come put press anchor to me.
ภาษาอังกฤษได้ไหม
Huh? Press anchor.
ภาษาไทยได้ไหม
We need bilingual school, so put press anchor to me.
ไม่ได้
This is a bilingual school. Do you not speak English? No?
do you
I want to buy a tie for my son. He's a student in the other school. Yeah.
Thai don't have Thai
A tie.
sorry
Tie.
I have example
Oh, you know what it is? Yeah, good. Okay. I think the larger one is better. Yeah. Okay.
เปิดไปเนาะ
Okay. Cheers. Thank you. How right, crap?
160
Like hooks it. Okay, 160. Okay. Scan QR, okay? Okay. Thank you.
Name
My name?
ไอ้น้อง
Huh?
UK ไหนคะไม่ต้องเขียนใช่ไหม
My son's name, you mean?
What's student name
Harry. Harry.
Harry
H-A-R-R-Y. Harry.
S-A-E-O-Y
H-A-R-R-Y. Yeah.
AOOY
R-R. Not O-O. R-R. Yeah.
What
H-A-R.
grade?
He's in Pasang. I don't know he's in second grade. H-A. No. R-R. Not O-O. R. 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 That's O. R.
I'm learning English
I understand. Okay. Okay. So Loy Hasip.
160
Loy Hoxip. Worth a shot. Worth a try. Okay. Is that okay? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. Oh dear God, that was a little bit easier than I thought it'd be, because when I said Thai, she understood. I was being deliberately, I won't say awkward, deliberately normal. And she spelled Harry H-A-O-O-Y. Look, that just highlights my frustration. It's a wonderful school. It's an absolutely wonderful school. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to get back in the car.
Ah, god damn. Okay, I'll give you the debrief. So there you go. So I was not being derogatory. They're wonderful people. It's a wonderful place, and I wouldn't have my son go anywhere else. I really wouldn't. It's a fantastic school. But I just wanted to highlight, and in fairness to that lady, when I said Thai, she didn't speak American English. She didn't speak any English, but the vocabulary that she's used to is American English. But when I said Thai, she understood that I meant necktie, because that's what Thai said. That's what my wife calls it. So I have it. Loy Hop Sip is 160 baht. And that frustrates me as well, because this is the third one he's had this semester. I mean, that's the last one, and then they just come untied. The ties come untied very quick, very easily, and that could be said for the Thai people. They get frustrated with us sometimes, and they can they can demonstrate their frustration in certain ways. I demonstrate my frustration. I don't demonstrate. I do demonstrate it on videos like this, but I also manage it. I do manage it with an ice cold beer. It's too early. It's too early to do that right now. But I'm going to check in. I'm going to check in with the missus before I go anywhere. I'm going to send her a photograph of the tie, because she's the one that was onto me to get him the tie. So I have to take a photo of it, and send it to her line account. So then she'll be off me back. I sent that to her. Now she's happy, I suppose. Sorry about the buzzing noise, the aircon. Then there, it's just a necessity. It's only 31 degrees, but it's very overcast, and it's a lot of moisture in the air because it was spitting rain a minute ago, and it's very, very humid. So look, we'll press on. And as I said in the last video, I don't know which way this video is going to go. I'm going to go back, have a cup of tea, and we'll see what else I can come up with that frustrates me. Anyway, let's get them out of here. Better put on my seatbelt because I'll never hear the end of it if I don't. Here we go. It's now 11:05 as I head home. And I'll be back here at 3:15 to pick Harry up from school. I mean, I love me son, but that's another frustration. You say, hang on, you've got to be very careful pulling out. You've got to be very, very careful pulling out of places in Thailand. But anyway, that's another frustration. I'm 61 in a month from now. And by the way, I'll tell you something else. My driver's license expires on the same day as my visa expires. My visa is currently in process, pending, and I can't renew my driver's license until I get my visa renewed, because they won't renew my driver's license with 2 weeks left on my visa. So literally what I'll have to do is I'll be able to drive on the day of my visa, when I collect my visa, please God, which is in 2 weeks from now, on the actual day. But once it hits midnight on that day, my driver's license will have expired, so I have to get a taxi to the driver's license depot, which is, by the way, fantastic. In Thailand, it's absolutely fantastic. It's very streamlined, very efficient, but I have to get a taxi there. Anyway, guys, that's another frustration. I've got to go for a beer, but it's not going to happen because it's 11 in the morning, and I don't drink until, as I said before, the sun is over the yard arm. And I know the sun is over the yard arm somewhere, but at the end of the day, I've got responsibilities, and my responsibilities come first. And for all those people who think I'm an alcoholic, they may be frustrated themselves, because I'm not an alcoholic and I'm not in denial. Anyway, see you in a bit.
So it's sometime later, and this is not my condo. This is the common room in the gym, or as the Thais call it, the fitness room. And that really frustrates me as well, because of their use of English. But look, it's their language. They can use English has borrowed words from almost every language in the world. So why can't Thais borrow English words? Because I go on about the fact that they can't pronounce things properly, but we can pronounce things properly. Like New Orleans, it's Orleans. And there's a street in Dublin called Amiens Street. We pronounce it Amiens, it's Amiens. So we borrow words from French, and we mispronounce, like restaurant. It's le restaurant. You know yourself. So, but it doesn't stop from frustrating me. But one of the things that doesn't frustrate me, and never will frustrate me, is your support. And I'll always do this because I really appreciate your support, lads. If you want to help support the channel, as these guys have done, you can scan the QR or click the link below in the description. I just want to kick off recent supporters. I name supporters in each video, and I don't want to repeat myself, but these are recent supporters since my last video. If you're not included here, watch the previous video, because you will have been included in the previous one if you're not included in this one. Someone, you don't give your name, but thank you very, very much. I really appreciate your support. And Steve H, thank you very much for your support. Big Frank NZ, I presume that's New Zealand, and I'm sorry what I said about New Zealand food in the last video, but I'd say the same thing about Irish food. You know, what's New Zealand food doing in the top 10 world foods list? I don't know, but I'm sure you understand what I mean. But thank you very much indeed. And Jackstar, as always, thank you very much for your continuous support, and we will have a beer. And any of you, by the way, any of you who have contributed to this channel and want to have a beer with me, the email address is 5timeslucky@gmail.com. That's 5timeslucky@gmail.com. Let me know when you're in Bangkok, and the beers are on me for all you guys who have supported me and are supporting me. Anyway, frustration. This is one thing I'm not frustrated about, but there's plenty more to come. Another thing that really gets up my nose is it's a general thing. The people whom I know, by the way, the noise, I'm looking after my son like I always do in the evenings. The people who I know in Thailand, I come across, the vast majority of them cannot speak a word of English, and that is frustrating. And I'm not being arrogant. I am a native English speaker, but I also have my own language. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like for people to demand to speak English. But you see, I'm not demanding that they speak English, but it is the international language. This condominium where we live, it's full of Thai. There's one or two Farang that live here. But when they send out messages on the line application to inform us of food trucks arriving tomorrow, or they're chlorinizing the pool and the pool will be closed, or they're cleaning the gym so the gym will be closed, all of these messages are sent in Thai. They're not sent in English. And I'm forever addressing this with them. I'm saying, look, there's a proportion of your residents that don't speak in Thai. And it really frustrates. You see, you might say I'm being arrogant. I'm not being arrogant. I know this is Thailand and they speak Thai, but English is the international language. And it frustrates me that I am frustrated. It frustrates me that I am frustrated, that I have frustrating events. I'm trying to concentrate. My son is playing brain rot. If you have a 7-year-old, you know what brain rot's all about. But it frustrates me that I run into situations all the time where I get frustrated that I can't communicate. And you might say, why don't I learn Thai? Well, I'll tell you, or what I do speak Thai, but why don't I speak Thai fluently? Well, I'll tell you why I don't speak Thai fluently. I don't speak Thai fluently because I don't want to speak Thai fluently. And the reason I don't want to is because I haven't got the motivation, because I'm an English speaker. As any English speaker will tell you, you can go, as you know, any English speaker will tell you, you know that anywhere you go in the world, you don't have to speak any other language other than English. You might have a miserable existence if you live in Russia, for example, or China, or Thailand. Well, Thailand to a lesser extent. In fairness, I think I'd rather live in Thailand speaking English than live in China speaking English, with the exception of Beijing or Shanghai. But you know what I mean. But that's the reason I don't speak Thai, is because I speak English and I can get away with it. You know the old joke, what do they call someone who speaks many languages? And the answer is a polyglot. What do you call someone who can speak 2 languages? And of course the answer is bilingual. And you say, what do you call someone who can only speak 1 language? And they always say monolingual. And then you say, no, an American. Well, you see, it's wrong to get an American sort of. I include myself in that. We travel around the world and we stay in Thailand, and there's lots of guys just like me who speak very limited Thai, or there's lots of guys as well who speak almost absolute no Thai whatsoever because they don't have to. And that's, again, I say I'm frustrated, but it's my own fault I'm frustrated. But I am maintaining my frustration by not developing my Thai. I don't really see it as a priority. My wife speaks a bit of English. Harry's native English speaker. There are people that I know here that speak English, and I can get away with the limited Thai that I have. I wish I had more. I'd like to impress Thai people by having more, but I'm prepared to live in my frustration by conversing. As earlier on you saw, I wasn't making fun of those people. I was just giving it was theatrics, but it was just to demonstrate how frustrating it can be when you don't speak that language, the Thai language, and they don't speak English, and I was justified, I think, in describing the situation the way I did. But I'm distracted here. There's so many people walking past. I don't know if they're saying hello to me or not. The reason I was highlighting that is because the school is a bilingual school. And if you're paying for a bilingual service, you'd be excused for thinking that the people providing that service would be bilingual, but they're not. And that was my point, or that is my point. That has been my point in that particular part of this video. So there's another really frustrating aspect to living in Thailand. Well, it has become. A lot of you guys have mentioned to me about drinking and the amount of drinking I seem to be doing. Well, I do seem to be doing a lot of drinking, but it's not as much, you see. You see me in videos. This is Tuesday. The last time I had a drink was Sunday, and that was only 2 cans of Leo on the whole day. And you might say, only 2 cans of Leo. Well, that's all it was. And I've no intention of drinking tonight. I'll probably have a drink again on Thursday. It's not as regular as it comes across, but I really appreciate your concern. Tim, keep it real. thank you very much for your concern. Lots of you have said it actually, about the amount of drinking I've been doing. But I just say it is a form of frustration for me that I live a fairly, say, sober life. And not sober in terms of alcohol, I'm just saying sober life in terms of my lifestyle. You know, I work from home. I'm at home now. My son is in the gym there. That's where I was in the last scene from this. I'm rooted to here. I'm taking care of my son. I don't go out. I used to have another channel called The Big Picture, El Panorama. I used to go out most nights and I used to drink, and I don't do that anymore. And it's become a form of frustration for me that I need to let off some steam. I need to let it out. And, you know, this is not meant to be, I don't know what this video, this is not meant to be a kind of a sobering video. But I'll just tell you, I have a friend of mine in Perth in Australia. I've got two good friends in Perth in Australia. They don't actually know each other. They know of each other. They've never met each other. But I was talking to one of them and he told me there was an Irish girl who lived in Australia, 27 years old, and I won't go into all the detail, but she dropped dead this day week, last Tuesday, dropped dead for no apparent reason. And I'm saying to myself, I'm 61 in 2 weeks from now, and I'm very lucky to be here. I'm extremely lucky. Looking back on my life, I'm extremely lucky to be here at this stage. It's still fit and healthy, reasonably. But when you hear about things like that happening, we're only here for, as you know, we're only here for a very short time. And I know I don't want to be lying in bed with cirrhosis. I don't want to be dependent on a liver transplant. But at the same time, I need to enjoy my life. And it is frustrating for me in my 61st year, soon to be my 62nd year, that my time is limited. My time, all our time is limited. But my time, and I know there's fellas watching this in their 70s, so it's going to say, what the hell are you talking about? I feel that I feel frustrated by curtailing myself. I do. Because I don't really do that much. I see fellas in Pattaya and I see fellas on Soy 4 in Sukhumvit. Maybe they're on their holidays or maybe they live here. But they're at it hammer and tongs, and fair play to them. Someone once said to me, and I've said this a few times, and this guy was in his 80s at the time, and he said, there's a lot to be said for sudden death. I prefer to enjoy the things I enjoy and have a sudden death rather than to enjoy the things I enjoy and have a lingering death. Of course. But I appreciate what people say about the drinking, but at the same time, it's very frustrating for me to go through a week, I wouldn't say it, to go through a week without some kind of carrot. And it's easy for me to take that carrot now because there's 3 cans of Leo in the fridge and almost a full bottle of Gordon's. But I'm not going to do it because I want to savour it. So I won't be frustrated. I'll probably be frustrated with myself in the morning if I did tuck into the gargle tonight. I'm sure I would be. But doing without it would be very frustrating altogether. And you might say, I am an alcoholic. I don't think so. I have no craving, I have no desire, I have no compulsion. I do it because I want to relinquish myself of frustration. So as dusk falls here in Bangkok on this late October evening, it's late in the evening and it's late in October, I find myself in a kind of a somber mood at the end of this video. Not a mood I started it in. And the reason for that, and it's a good thing, that the videos I've been making over the past few days, well, the last couple of videos, have been done over the course of 2 days or over the course of a day. And I've had time to reflect, and I've had time to read comments, and I've had time to interact. And it's because I was reading those comments, more than one person had said about my drinking that this has become a more somber kind of thing. But all I'll say to you is that living in Thailand can be extremely frustrating. I'm waiting for my visa, it's in process. I can't get my driver's license till I get that, that's frustrating. I can't speak Thai very well, that's frustrating when I'm trying to get my point across. I can't have an in-depth conversation with someone. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's what's frustrating about it. That's why you feel lonely, because you can't have a heart-to-heart with anyone. I don't live in Pattaya. I don't meet fellow foreigners, fellow Farang, and can talk deeply about stuff or whatever. Probably glad I don't, because you know yourself, when you're drinking, you talk bullshit. But I hope that you can get something from this video, that we have something in common. You can identify with me on some level. That there's frustrations to living in this country. But I can tell you this much. I'd rather feel all the frustration I feel living here than living back home in Europe, for obvious reasons, because Europe is on the floor. You know that, it's on the floor. I won't go into that. If you want me to talk about that, and I don't think you do, if you want me to talk about that in a future video, whatever. But look, let me know in the comment section what you think. Are you frustrated? Do you identify with me about the frustrations I have displayed and presented to you in this video? Let me know. But whatever you do, lads, if you haven't already done so, have a look at Buy Me a Coffee. You can scan that QR. I'll give you a shout out in the next video. Or you can click the link below. But whatever you do, make sure you click the like button, the share button, subscribe button. Do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.